Hello, guys. Welcome to another segment of The Microwave. When you hear this sound, that means things can get steamy and hot really fast. Thanks for tuning in to this segment of The Microwave. Family, welcome back to another segment of The Microwave. When you hear this sound, know things can get hot and steamy really fast. Hey, y'all, I have a special guest today. My buddy, my pal. I don't have the words to describe or to even paint this guy's character. I'm going to jump straight into it. I have my boy, Austin Morris. Man, it's a pleasure to have you here. I want to jump straight into it. We had a chance to meet and talk, and you have an awesome testimony. Honor, appreciate your journey. And I want you to just share with the viewers and share with us. Just take us down your journey, where you've been, and you getting to this point now. If you will share your journey with us.
Okay, I'm glad to be here. Life started out in a broken family, early age. My mother, she worked 3 jobs, whatever she had to do. We were very poor, but she was such a good woman. We didn't realize we were poor,
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. We lived in houses that leaned so much that you had to tie the back doors shut. If a kid walked through the house in the middle of the night, they'd fall through the floorboard.
Wow.
Just giving a brief props to my mom and strong women in the nation, because
Wow.
that's what it's going to take to get this country back to God, is strong women to step up like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
But I dropped out of school in 9th grade. Everything against what my mom was pushing. Time I reached early adulthood, I met God when I was 13 years old. I knew who he was, but he didn't fit the lifestyle I wanted to live, 18, 19, 20, all the way up, I guess till I was probably 40-something years old. So I went through a lot of bad relationships, even though I craved the perfect relationship, the love of a good woman. Well, I wasn't ready to receive that from God. So I had a lot of stumbling blocks. Along the way, I met a woman who I fell in love with for all the wrong reasons, and I grew to hate this woman.
Wow.
And if you look back on it, I was loving her for who I wanted her to be instead of who she was. So who was at the fault? We often do that. We find somebody and we want them to be something that they're not. So we grow to hate them for that reason. Up until this point, in my life, I was a heavy drinker, drank heavy, weekends, I passed out and sobered up. I didn't wake up, and it was a rough voyage.
Because there's so many people that have family and loved ones that got on drugs, and that feel like they don't, there's no hope for them. But you're a person that got on drugs, and God changed your life, cleaned you up, and you went from being broke in the slumps to 6 figures. Tell us about that.
I'd love to tell that. My son that I'd been raising for 5 years had been taken from me.
Okay.
I didn't know where he was, and I was anti-drugs, but next thing I know, I'm doing meth just to cover the pain. You're never going to get rid of that pain using drugs or alcohol. It was just to cover the pain, and I was going to quit tomorrow. Well, that tomorrow was for 8 years of my life. And sometimes you feel like you're in this glass bubble, and you think you're yelling out to everybody, and it's like you can't get out. But these people on the outside are actually listening to you, and they're praying for you, and they're trying to help you get out of that bubble. And, you see homeless people out there on the roads today. That could have been me very easily. So I don't look at homeless people like I used to. Because if it would have been not for that mother I had and all the friends and family that I had praying for me and holding me up off I did hit rock bottom, but my rock bottom was cushioned by a lot of good people. You know, I had a special friend that stepped in, and he become that friend. You know, there's more to being a friend than being there for a few laughs. You got to be there for the tears and the struggles. You got to reach down. And when you're down, you got to be willing to be pulled up. And that's why when I approach people, I want them to know where I was. I want them to know that there's hope. I want them to know that there's a way up out of where they're at. I've got a lot of friends on Facebook I'd like you to meet, maybe even interview, that I was on the dark side with, but they've made it out to the light.
Wow.
They've made it to the light. And, you know, the cops took me down in my yard. I had an 8-ball of dope. It was in my mom's front yard. 8-ball of crystal meth, a pipe. And I prayed my hardest prayer I'd ever prayed in my life. With the cops on my back, a knee in the back of my head, with grass in my mouth, with my pants pulled off of me. God, you get me out of this and I'll never touch this stuff again.
Wow. We all have been in that situation where our back was against the wall and we know it would have changed our life. We would have had a felony and we was praying and God intervened right then and there. So I've been there, so I know what you mean.
He did. 8 cops got off of me, got in their cars, and drove off, left me standing there in my mother's yard in my underwear, barefooted, and drove away. And that's where things started to change. I went to church with my mother that Sunday. I had $20 to my name. I threw it in the plate. I said, I'm giving it all to you right now, God. I got a call on a Sunday for a job to go to California. And in 3 months, I came back with $39,000 in my pocket.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
It's what God did for me. And, you know, these friends and stuff, they just kept picking me up and picking me up. And that's why it's not about knowing somebody to be a friend. We need to all go out there. And the way I approached you was in a friend, because you don't have to earn my respect. When I meet you, you have all that respect, and you are my friend. You can lose some of it. We may cut ties, but it's going to be up to you.
Right. I want to throw a curveball here for a second, because you had $20 to your name and you put it in offering plate, and then you came back with triple, quadruple what you got.
Yeah.
So would you? And I know this can be. Hear that sound? You hear that sound? It can get steamy real fast. So when it comes to giving, would you say that because you gave that was the reason the blessing came, or was it the pure in heart? What would you say about that?
I was giving all of my trust to Jesus Christ, not just believing in Him, but I was saying, Jesus, this is it. I trust you with this. My last $20.
Fed up and your mind is made up to give your all to God. Whatever you attach to that's a real seed. You know?
It's like the woman that gave the mites, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not that's why when I hand a homeless person $20, somebody may be sitting in the seat beside me, say, they're going to go get drunk or do drugs with that. But what got those people in the streets and on the drugs were triggers. What if that $20 I give them as a trigger to help them, a kind gesture to help them get off the drugs? Because eventually we want to be the trigger to help somebody. And if it only happens once in a lifetime and we only help one person get out, we've accomplished.
Right. Your wife, she was it was her intentions to be here, but some things came up. Your wife, was she supporting you through this journey, or?
My wife actually came in later. She came in, still had a lot of work to do on me. And I would like to talk about my wife just a little bit. Me and my wife, we met each other both. I got married right after all this happened. It was married for the wrong reasons. I fell in love with a child, another child. It's always the children. And I was comfortable, but I wasn't in love with a woman. When I met my wife, I went out one night, went to the restaurant, met her. Within 3 hours, I knew that was the woman. I knew that the idea of being in love with the idea of being in love, I knew that she was the one within 3 hours of meeting her, even though I was fixing to leave.
So it only take 3 hours? It only take a few hours? Now, that's another subject. That's another topic for another day. How long does it take for you to realize that a woman is the wife for you?
My wife smiled at me. It was the first time I ever trusted a woman in my life, And it's not, I'm not bashing women. It's where I was going looking for women. It's the places I was finding women that were the wrong places. So it was that type of women. I'm not knocking them because I wasn't shopping at the right stores.
You weren't shopping at the right store? Okay.
But my wife, to this day, when she tells me she loves me, it's the most precious thing in the world because I trust it. It's the first time I've ever trusted a woman.
Wow.
When she says she loves me fully. Like I said, there's a lot of good women out there. There are. But I'm not saying you can't find them in the bars, but you're better off shopping in better stores.
Better stores. With no layaway. You can't put them up for layaway. Can you put them up for layaway?
But like the verse says, I can't even remember the exact verse. You need to treat your wife like God treats the church.
Love your wife as Christ
loved
the
church.
church.
You love a woman like that. And what I've noticed about me and my wife, we don't discuss our problems as much as we see a problem that causes, and we make changes for each other because we want to. I've made changes to myself. She's made changes to herself that makes our relationship stronger. And God's always part of it. Me and my wife pray together, and that's very important.
Awesome. I don't have the words, to express your gratitude, your spirit, your kindness. And I told you when we had a discussion, this is just the beginning. You have an awesome ministry. God is going to do some great things with you. It's an honor, it's a pleasure to have you here, and we look forward to doing some work with you. And tell your wife we missed her. We catch on the next segment. Remember, viewers, don't live life based off of others' perception of who you are. And until we meet again on the next segment of The Microwave. Hey guys, here in The Microwave, we're going to have many guests, some businessmen, some entrepreneurs, some pastors, just regular people like you and I who deal with everyday experiences. Some of them maybe even going through those experiences. So keep in mind, the microwave, it can get hot and steamy really fast. So remember, don't live life based off of others people's perception of who you are. And until we meet again on the next segment of The Microwave.